Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of...
Wrong.
Whoops, that was...
We're The Con Guys, and this is The Con Guy Show, coming to you straight from the nerdy heart of Hollywood, California.
And this is Jim with theconguy.com.
She's been here with theconguy.com.
Katie here, aka the Con Girl.
Zordon did not want 5 teenagers with attitude.
My name is Derek Sam.
I'm Danae Sams, and that's my brother.
We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic-Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things con!
And one more.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Birthday to you.
Whose birthday?
Amanda's?
Hey, happy birthday.
Was that for me?
We're a little bit late. But we can't let the moment go past. But your birthday is very close to another birthday.
Also, it's not late. It's early. The happy birthday message was early. You're good.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I know your birthday's real close here because we're talking about your birthday. But there's another birthday that we got to mention.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody. Go ahead.
Ben is not here tonight because Bree's birthday, his lovely, beautiful wife's birthday, is tomorrow. So they are they're celebrating tonight.
So Ben is not with us tonight. But there's even another birthday.
There's one birthday today that's really huge that we should address.
What is it?
The great
Brian Wilson.
Wait, it's Brian Wilson's birthday. It's also the 47th birthday of what movie, Luke? Jeez, man.
Jaws.
Yes. Okay. All right. It took a long time. All right. There's also
And Derek said of Virginia, but Luke cut him off.
No, it's of West Virginia. Today is West
Virginia. That's what I
Virginia's
thought.
birthday.
That's what I thought. I thought it was West Virginia.
became not Virginia.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I only heard you say Virginia, and I was like, I thought it was West Virginia.
That's because Jim was talking, and I couldn't get anything out there. But it's okay because we're all friends.
I'm apt to talk, so there is that. And I forgot to just plug my speaker in, so
I'll go double birthday. I got the Quint hat on from Jaws. Now I got a Beach Boys shirt on. So
I also bought
bought
via Luke something to celebrate the anniversary of Jaws today.
Ooh.
Do you have
a
it?
Funko Pop?
I don't have it with me. It is in the car because otherwise I will forget whenever I go somewhere to bring it. So it's it's in my car.
All right. No, but there is one birthday, and it's actually, I'm kind of cheating a little bit. It's not actually the birthday. The birthday was a couple months ago, but we are celebrating today. We are starting our 7th season of the Con Guy Show. 7 years, guys. We have completed 6 years. So we're starting year 7. So this is kind of exciting. We started back in 2016. Our first show was about WonderCon, so it's only kind of like poetic justice. We're talking about the Big Brother Con right now of San Diego Comic-Con of 2022, the first year back since 2019 in full force. So happy birthday, everybody. Welcome to season 7 of the Con Guy Show.
We're in first grade. We're this many.
That's right.
So I have a question.
Yes.
How many years of a show do you have to do till you start making that your career? Because
They say the 7-year thing in Hollywood. So
I know. I thought it
years
was
of
10 years.
podcasting.
Does that mean we have to do this for over 10 years?
Oh,
We'll
geez.
see. But I just want to say this.
I don't know if I have that many more
Everybody, wherever you are, if you have a drink or if you have something, I would love to propose a toast. A toast to, well, let me make sure I don't spill this on the keyboard here. This is a toast to 6 awesome years, and the 7th is going to come. This is a toast to all of you who watch. This is a toast to you guys, the best hosts in the world. You guys are so great.
Aww.
I just got to say, Derek, Danae, Katie, Luke, and Ben, he's not here right now, our friend Jake, and Carrie when she gets on sometimes. Guys, this is a great group of people. And if you guys, we do this because we're a group of friends. We are definitely not getting rich off this. As a matter of fact, it does nothing but cost us money and time and headache. But cheers to the Con Guy. 7th year is going to be a good year. And I'd like to also toast those of you who tune in and watch and comment and make our time so much better, because we could not do this without all of your inspiration, all of your help of putting the show together. Always remember, I want you guys to know we do this because we love this. The Con Guy is from fans for fans. We're just a big fandom show. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
I don't have a
I was
car,
trying to
so
cover up the brand name of what I'm drinking because I don't know if I'm allowed to show it.
actually, I'm gonna go get my drink real quick. I'll be right back. It's like literally 5 feet away.
Yeah, now you made us want to drink, Jim. Jeez.
Listen.
Yeah, I know. I'm just spouting some water over here. Should have gotten my box of wine.
In just a minute, we're going to share maybe one of our favorite moments or two from Comic-Con's past. And I do have to say, one of my favorite moments ever from the podcast is one time we were trying to turn the podcast off. We had started the close down music, and we heard this big glug, 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 glug of Danae pouring her box of wine into a cup. It was one of the funniest moments ever. I remember Ben saying, "What is that?" Anyways, so I just want to say, that said, we're celebrating 7 years here at the Con Guy Show. 6 years completed, heading into our 7th season. But there's something really big we want to talk to you about. It makes only perfect sense that tonight we are going to talk about the biggest fan convention of the year for us, San Diego Comic-Con. It's from July 20th through 24th. Tonight we're going to tell you everything we know, which is, it is what it is, about the panels, the offsites, the badges, parking, hotels, and maybe we can talk a little bit about exclusives, although all the exclusives have not been released yet, except for Funko has gone crazy with exclusives, and that's kind of an exciting thing. Anyways, my name is Jim. I'm one of your hosts here at the Con Guy Show. Let's start up here next to me. Look, I'm pointing the right way. Who do we got?
Yeah, hi, I'm Derek, and I am also one of the hosts. I'm a regular contributor on the Con Guy, and here's a Twitter handle that I occasionally actually use.
Luke?
Hello, it's Cheeseman here. I don't know if anybody else is really hot tonight, but it's been a hot night in LA, so my room is I'm blowing some air conditioning on me, trying to cool down. But Cheeseman here with conguy.com, celebrating Brian Wilson's birthday and Jaw's birthday. We're doubling up here tonight, but one of the founding members of the Con Guy, and excited for Comic-Con this year.
All right, who's below Luke? I shouldn't say below. In the Brady Bunch squares, who's in the left lower, right lower square?
Left or right? Because that's two different things. I'm guessing you mean me. Because at first you said below Luke, and then you said left, which would have been Danae.
Yeah.
So,
all right. I don't know left from my right.
Clearly. All right. Okay. Anyway, it is me, KT_Christine, one of the con girls. And I'm excited to finally be going back to Comic-Con, and I finally have my badges. So, if you guys follow the show, you know that it's been an endeavor.
And, okay, original con girl. We got another con girl next to you. Who's this? Who beat you?
My name isn't showing up on my screen. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
I see it. Yeah.
Okay, that's so weird. It's not showing up on mine. Okay, well, I'm Danae, the other half of the Samblings, and the other con girl. Excited to talk Con Guy stuff. I bought a brand new T-shirt today while I was at Target. And
what is it?
It's E.T.
Yes, that's awesome. All right, let's say hello to a few people. Hey, how about Derek does it this time?
Blood good.
Always. Andy Haro, it's always good to see you. Kame, Paul McCartney turned 80 this past Saturday, which is awesome. It's so great. And as always, Jonathan Wilkinson, always glad to see you. Hopefully
Hi, Jonathan.
Usually he's sitting naked in some karaoke bar someplace, so who knows where he's at tonight. But anyways, always having a good adventure. All right, real quick, before we start, I just want to also say congratulations, Miss Danae Sams. And if Ben was here, congratulations to him as well. These guys did an amazing job, both of them stand-up comics, and they both placed in the best of show at a comedy festival here in LA this past weekend. Let's give them a hand. Woo-hoo!
Thank you.
And,
I didn't get to hear our final scores, but it was, I think, about 200 comics, and good old buddy Ben Cleaver and I placed in the top 30. And I've already gotten some messages today about like, oh, hey, can you come and do this show? Hey, can you come do this show? So it's very exciting. Lots of awesome stuff. Also, a quick shout out to Jim and Luke for coming out to a late show and supporting. It was a lot of fun. And then we went to the tiki bar after.
That was
guys
actually
never
early
hang
for
out.
us. Just
We
so
went
you know.
where afterwards?
We
We
went
went
way
to the
early.
tiki bar.
Okay, it sounded like something else.
Is that not what it's called? You guys
No,
are the tiki people.
I think Jim's mind's in the gutter.
No, it's the connection. It's
Does
the
it also
connection.
start with T?
Yeah. Anyways,
By the
today-
way,
something
any of our
very-
lovely supporters, not to do this, but Jim. Wow, your thing says James, so like I said James, even though obviously we call you Jim. Obviously our technology is not the best, so if anybody, we need to set up like an Amazon wish list or something. Let's be real.
Oh, I know. Let's do it. But Danae, congratulations. We will be featuring some
Thank you.
clips from Danae eventually. Not tonight, because tonight is so packed, but I would love to feature you and Ben maybe next week. So stay tuned. All right, real quick before we start, Katie, there's a question for you from Keme. I think that's
From
Keme.
Cammy. It's Cammy, right? I think it's. I don't know. Tell us if we're saying your name wrong. I apologize. I don't know yet.
The question is, what are you going to cosplay?
Yes. Me and my roommate were trying to figure this out today, and then we got distracted. So that didn't go well. I think I'm for sure going to bring my updated Bo Peep costume cosplay because I did it for last Halloween, and I haven't actually worn the completed look to a Comic-Con yet. So I think I'm gonna do that. Bo Peep from Toy Story 4.
I haven't
And
seen that one yet.
something in the lines of My Hero Academia. We're just trying to figure out what exactly we want to do. And the rest is TBD. So as soon as I know, I will tell y'all. But let's be real, I'll probably figure it out 3 days before Comic-Con. So, there's that.
Derek, don't you have possible big Comic-Con cosplay plans that you don't want to give away, I'm sure.
Yeah, we won't give it away. Also, we're not sure that we can pull any of it off. But we have discussed some family cosplay ideas, and we are taking all 3 kids, and that's going to be a real adventure. But we couldn't
I
pass
think
up
you
the
need to
opportunity.
be that G.I. Joe from the episode of Community where they do G.I. Joe and the one girl, it's Yvette Nicole Brown, just going, I've got 3 kids. Before she says anything.
3 kids.
3 kids.
All right, I'm going to start with Derek. What we're going to do to open up the show, we're about to dive into a bunch of information here, but we wanted to do it kind of nostalgically from your year's Comic-Con past, or whoever has one ready. What is a memory, one of your favorite memories of all the Comic-Cons past? Just to get us revved up. We have 4 weeks less. We have about four weeks until Comic-Con. Why do we love it so much? What's something that you remember?
Well, I remember I met you at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how we first became friends.
Let's just stop there. That's your best memory of Comic-Con.
Well, that's one great memory. Okay, it's really paid off. The first Comic-Con I went to, my friend Leilani, who is a very experienced and gifted writer, she's worked on a number of TV shows, just this amazing woman. I had just met her a few months before, and she got me one of her guest passes. So that was my first year at the con, and it was so much fun. I remember one really fun memory was back when we got to go to Nerd HQ, and they would do the panels where you could pay like $20 if you could get a ticket in time, and it would be for charity. But you could, it was a much smaller room, and it was very up close and personal with the people on the panel, and it was pretty much just all audience questions too. But Zach Levi, of course, hosting it himself. This one was Richard Madden of Game of Thrones, and many other things now since then. But at the time, I think at the time he was dating Jenna Louise Coleman, and it was while she was on Doctor Who. And somewhere in the middle of the panel, all of a sudden the door just busted open, and Jenna Louise Coleman and Matt Smith both just kind of jumped on stage and surprised everyone, including the people on the panel. So the audience just erupted in cheers, and the rest of it became just a big,
Brad wants to know who's Zach Levi.
Zach Levi. Brad, I'll have you ask Katie that question directly later, and I'm going to make sure that we're filming it and I have a bowl of popcorn while she gouges your eyes out. Just kidding. We're all on much friendlier terms than that. I'd say that's a favorite memory. And also, just the last time we were there in person, we saw that it was like a retro panel remembering. It was I forget what anniversary it was, 20 years or 25 years for the Night Before Christmas, and it was a bunch of the people that worked on it, like actually in production, the animators and everything. And that panel was moderated by Neil Gaiman, of all people.
Wow.
So stuff like that is just a cool experience. Oh, and that time that I passed by Nichelle Nichols on the sidewalk, was walking in a rush with all the crowd and everything, so I couldn't say anything to her, but I was just like, really fanboying out, because Nichelle Nichols, if you don't know, is the actress who played Uhura in the original Star Trek. She's, up there in years now, and just really cool and has a really sweet demeanor when she's in interviews and everything.
She is amazing.
Yeah, somebody else needs to take a turn, because I could just go on.
Okay, we're going to stop you right now. First of all, hello, Lily. Good to see you tonight. Good to see you. And then we're going to throw it over to Danae, because Danae, congratulations to Ben and Danae. Sorry.
Thanks, Jonathan.
He was playing fetch with his 5-month-old Shiba Inu.
Puppy dog.
Yeah, awesome job. So congratulations on the comedy. All right, Danae, let's go to you. Favorite memory?
Well, Comic-Con is where I basically met all of you guys. Jim and Luke, might have met you once before then. But I went to Comic-Con twice before I moved to LA. I met Katie and Emily at Nerd HQ. Probably one of my favorite memories, though, is from that very first Comic-Con. Derek and I slept outside to go to the Supernatural panel. And Katie, you and Emily came and brought us blankets, and we didn't realize how cold it was going to be. Then you got up very early in the morning and stood in line with us. I remember slipping out of line to go get coffee and hot chocolate for us. And I don't know if it was because the Starbucks kiosk inside had just opened or the guy thought I was pretty, probably the former, but he gave it all to me for free. It was 3 large Starbucks drinks that I got for free. And then by 9 a.m. we'd been up for, 7 hours. And somebody had nachos and cheese. And I remember thinking it looked so good. And Derek went and found some. And to this day, they're the best nachos and cheese I've ever had. All my memories are food related. But I just remember how just that general atmosphere of just being amongst friends. And all of my friends were messaging on Facebook I'm so jealous. That's amazing. Make sure you see this. I wish I was there. And I posted a picture of the logo. And I was like, guys, we all wish you were here too. You're just surrounded by accepting people who are awesome and love the things that you love. And we're all here and joyous. It's going to be so great this year after our time off to come back together. That and, one more, the time I broke my phone and I was cosplaying Rey while Derek was cosplaying J.J. Abrams. And we went to the Apple store and I had to get a new phone because I dropped it. Okay, I'm done now.
That's good. That's great. That's great. She's men.
I will unmute myself.
Okay.
Yes. I sound very selfish because most of them are well, I wasn't around my friends, but it was really cool when I met Chris Pratt at a Marvel kind of press junket thing. That was awesome. When we saw the Star Wars panel, and then they took us to kind of a special John Williams conducted kind of music thing, and all these handing out lightsabers, all that for. I think it was The Force Awakens, I think was the movie for that one. And then there was a Walking Dead kind of offsite thing for Sci-Fi Channel thing that I was dressed up like Abraham from Walking Dead because I suspected that he was the one that got killed and all that. And then both Norman Reedus and Stephen Young came out and they pointed at me during the show because they knew who died, but most people didn't and they weren't revealing it. But it was kind of fun to be part of that Walking Dead thing, and they even referenced me on the show at one point. I sounds very selfish, but it was also fun to hang out with my friends at Comic-Con.
And what you're talking about is the Sci-Fi Network had a daily show that they were producing from Comic-Con, and they pushed you up front because your Walking Dead cosplay was so cool.
Yeah, it was kind of a big deal that day.
Yeah. All right, Katie.
Ron Burgundy voice, of course.
All right, I'm going to make this quick as I can, and then I have to go get the charger for my computer because I thought it had enough charge, and apparently it's dying really fast. So I'm going to say this first. First of all, I am currently doing a countdown of my favorite Comic-Con memories on Instagram. So for the full extent of Katie's Comic-Con memories, you can follow that journey with me. I am posting a picture every day, starting at 34 days till. So that's where you can fully relive my Comic-Con experience. Right now, I am currently in my first Comic-Con, which is 2012. So I'm going to try to share one that I don't have pictures of, which I think is going to sound super sappy, but I really like the spontaneity of Comic-Con. You know, you can plan and go to these schedule where you want to go, what panels you want to see, which offsites you want to go to. But in the end, I think some of the most fun I've had at Comic-Con is just seeing what happens, walking the floor, finding out, seeing friends that you didn't know were there, rating random celebrities. Like, you know, I've met random celebrities while walking the floor. I saw Elijah Wood during my first Comic-Con, but we weren't sure if it was Elijah Wood, and we were too nervous to go talk to him because it was like our first con. But I still remember to this day that me and my friend were like, is that Elijah Wood? Like, just talking, seeing celebrities in the hotel. I mean, seeing all sorts of things. So it's so much fun to just kind of see where the world takes you, and being surrounded by people who are not going to judge you for staying overnight at like 14 hours for a panel. Now, there are still those people who are like, you're staying outside? Like, really? And then later on, they're wondering why they can't get into the panel. So, you know, there's that. But that's like my favorite part. And like another high point would be the Doctor Who 50th anniversary panel. As Derek knows, we both waited in line overnight to go to the 50th anniversary for Doctor Who, where Matt Smith and David Tennant were both there. Were they both there, Derek? They were, right? I can't remember.
I think so.
I think so.
My brain's a little fuzzy anyway. Yeah.
We got in line at 5 p.m. the night before for a panel that started at noon the next day. And we're sitting in the room, and we had to sit through, I think, Breaking Bad and another panel. And I didn't watch Breaking Bad at the time. And Derek and I are like starting to look at each other, and we're like, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Like, I'm exhausted. Like, we're so sleep deprived. And then the lights went down, and about 5,000 sonic screwdrivers went up in the air. And at that moment, I was just like, okay, no, it's worth it. Nothing else could happen, but seeing that moment is a memory that I don't have a picture of that I can't share. That was just absolutely amazing to see that many people so excited to see a reunion about some of their favorite doctors or some of the old doctors. So can't replace that, because I missed the two big things that happened at Supernatural and Star Wars because I got it online. But that's a story for a different day. So,
well, go get your charger.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get your charger.
So you don't like it. You got a section coming up here. Well, we're gonna say hello to a few people, but I just gonna say my favorite Comic-Con memories. I mean, there are so many because I've been going for a great. I think since 2008. I think 8 might be my first year, or 7, either 7 or 8. But and like Luke, I think the biggest moment was definitely the Star Wars panel of 2015 where they did the Star Wars Hall H panel, and then we all went out back for the concert. Fireworks over the San Diego Bay, it was just a glorious moment. Just so much bombast and so much, and with the stars, the original trilogy stars were out there on the stage along with the new trilogy stars. And I mean, I was a kid. Star Wars is the reason I live in California, because I moved out here because I loved the movie and I wanted to be a filmmaker. So to see that moment was just a perfect circle for me. Also, one of the best moments ever was back when they were having Nerd HQ. They had a special night, a screening of the movie Serenity on the open field of Petco Park one night. Everybody bring your blankets. Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion were the hosts out there on the field introducing Serenity.
That's amazing.
That can almost not be topped. Were you there, Derek?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I remember just them having running commentary in some scenes and sort of making fun of the movie, but lovingly.
And real quick, I'm going to throw to a couple of comments. Andy's says his favorite Comic-Con memories when he got to see Norman Reedus in the car where everybody was trying to go up to his window and get a selfie. That was Comic-Con 2019. Jonathan Wilkinson, he worked Comic-Con 2015 when they had the big Fargo snow globe, and he was in there ushering people into the globe, and he remembers it was about 150 degrees in there. I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that globe, but I didn't get inside of it because those reasons.
And Brad says this would be the very first Vampire Diaries less San Diego Comic-Con in 13 plus years. By the way, Katie, I don't know if you know, we got big Vampire Diaries news for our podcast. Anyways, we'll have to get you on there when we interview one of the stars. Anyways, well, that's more news for later. But he says they've always had a show in the trilogy, but Legacies just got canceled. It's going to be weird. But then Brad does go on to say, but we get Teen Wolf back. It's a strange kind of trade.
It's also going to
Hello,
be the first year.
Amanda Yellen. Happy birthday. So good to see you.
Not just
And then-
Vampire Diaries. There's no Supernatural either.
If Brad goes this year, which he's going to go, this will be his first, this 22nd Comic-Con. He's been going since 99. He didn't go the past 2 years because of the pandemic, but wow, that's pretty cool.
He's going. Our panel's on his birthday. And he's
I
not
know.
going to miss that midnight cheers on a Saturday.
I know. We got a little bitty thing. It's nothing big. It cost me like $1.50 that I got for Brad's birthday 2 years ago when he was gone. I almost mailed it to him, but we're forcing him to go to Comic-Con.
Just wait till Comic-Con now. Now he has to come to Comic-Con to get his gift, right?
Amanda, Brad doesn't have a birthday.
It's not worth it, Brad. Just kidding.
All right, guys. So we're gonna jump in, and sorry, we're kind of going all over the place, but we're just excited. We're just kind of. Oh, I have one more thing that was a really cool thing for me. Right here. I thought this was so cool going to the party and getting to hang with Jared Padalecki. And this was the night we went. We just hung with him. He was such a cool dude. And Katie had missed him that night. We're like, no, she couldn't have missed him. And I was looking for the video. If we find it before the end of the show, we'll show it. Katie did show up the next night, and she got a great picture with him. But the thing that was so cool is he made a video. He spent a lot of time making a video. Katie, what are you doing missing tonight?
It's on my TikTok, so people can see it on my TikTok.
It was meant to be. She wouldn't have had that video had she showed up the first night.
I know.
That's true.
That was such a good time. That was such a good time. All right.
Did you leave out your favorite, Jim?
He shared a few.
I've been gabbing a lot.
The Battlestar Galactica.
Wait, guys. Okay. Every time I tell that one, though, I might start crying. So I Richard Hatch, Battlestar Galactica is one of my favorite all-time franchises on television. I watched the old one, loved it, loved the new one, and Richard Hatch was in both of them. And in 2018, I got a chance to go up and talk to him, meet him, got a picture with him, and then he passed away that year. And I was able to write up a special article for the Comic-Con guide that comes out, the what do you call it? The souvenir guide about meeting Richard Hatch. That, to me, that gets me right there. Because that guy, he wasn't a mean person. He wasn't a selfish person. He just loved Battlestar, and he tried everything he could to keep Battlestar alive and going. And it seems to have lost a little bit of traction now that he has passed on. But Richard Hatch, here's one to you as well. All right,
we could literally do a whole show just on Jim moments at Comic-Con because he's been to so many.
Yeah, this is true. And I do want everybody to encourage you, please. We're going to do a series of special Comic-Con guy shows coming up. We are celebrating the movies of summer 1982. Me and Derek are doing one tomorrow night with Thomas Parham. Celebrating what movie, Derek?
Khan!
Star Trek II, The Wrath of
Khan.
Yep. We're going to celebrate Tron. We're going to celebrate E.T., Poltergeist, The Thing, Blade Runner. 1982 was a pivotal year in the history of sci-fi movies, and it was the one year that I remember that summer was such a big deal to me. So I'm a little bit selfish. I'm going to celebrate that, but I think it's one of the best summers ever. All right. So, Katie, what can you tell us about badges and your own experience getting a badge?
We don't need the stinking badges.
There's a lot of stuff going on with badges. So for those of you who are curious about getting a badge for this year's Comic-Con, unfortunately you're not able to. This year's general badges were whatever rolled over from 2020. So basically everybody who had already gotten a badge for 2020 when the show was canceled was guaranteed a badge for 2022 or a refund if they could no longer attend. But they're not doing a general badge sale for this year. They did do press. It was about a few weeks ago. So they did press, and then this last week, I don't even remember exactly which day, professionals got an email saying professional registration is open if you did not claim your badges in 2020. Now, granted, this is people who were already registered as professionals. They did not have an open opportunity to re-up your professional status if you were not eligible in 2020. But if you were a professional in 2020 who was guaranteed a badge, even though you didn't claim it, we were finally able to do that this week, and they was not first come first serve. It was just a guaranteed allotment based off of what you would have gotten in 2020. So unfortunately, I did not get another comp badge, but I did get some paid guest badges, and myself finally has a badge to go. And as far as that is, badges are being mailed out now. So if you did change your address or get your badges before the deadline, then you will be getting them in the mail shortly. They have started to be sent out. And June 7th was the last day for you to be able to update or change your shipping address for the badge mail out. So if you got it after that or changed it after that, you will have to pick it up at the actual convention. The same with the press badges that were pre-done before. And then July 1st is when press badge registration will be completed to be included in, or that was for press to be added to the press list. And professionals are able to claim their badges, I believe, until July 7th. So if you haven't gotten your badge and you are not due as a professional, you have until July 7th to claim your badges. After that, you will not be able to. So that's just some quick badge FAQ. Usually you can pick up your badges on Wednesday, starting on Wednesday at the con. But yeah, it's exciting to finally be going back and doing this again. So,
hey, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
What's a professional badge for people that don't know?
Professional badge is also known as an industry badge. So people who work in comic industries, television, film, things like that, creating content. And specifically, it leans more towards comic creators, but in the past, you have been able to get in if you do produce any sort of content that they showcase at Comic-Con, which is very heavy on the film and TV side. So all of us currently do work in the industry, so if we don't get press, we usually are eligible for professionals. If they reopen it, because none of us really knows exactly what's happening in the future for professionals, but once they announce it for next year, we will announce you guys how you apply for that, etc. like that. But yeah, and then I think I'm also talking about.
Can I ask you one more question? Do you have do you know if volunteer registration or volunteer badges are still available?
That is a good question. I forgot about volunteers.
I don't think they are. I think that time has passed. That was the last.
They sent out an email for volunteers, and it was all based off of 2020 as well.
Right.
Let's see. Daily volunteer registration is now open. If you're a returning volunteer or if you signed up for the interest list, follow the instructions below to register. Daily volunteer registration will remain open until the program's capacity is reached. So if you guys go to the comic-con.org /daily-volunteers, you can find out all the information about volunteering. And the day that you volunteer for Comic-Con, you do get a badge for that day. So that's a cool way to go if you're not able to go. And I know people who've gone to Comic-Con every year because of volunteering. So
that's awesome. That's a great way to get a badge.
Yes, correct.
And we need better volunteers sometimes, because sometimes, let's just be honest, the people volunteering to keep the lines, I'm not going to complain. I don't want to get anybody mad at me, but we need good line people. All right.
I believe you also wanted me to talk. Am I talking about parking also?
Yes. You can tell us about parking. Parking's a big deal right now.
So I personally have never experienced a parking pass at Comic-Con because I either shuttled in from staying somewhere else or I stayed at my hotel, which has parking, which I, again, will be doing this year. But there is a parking lottery going on that went on already through Ace Parking.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to go on the website and enter the lottery. I believe the lottery finished, but I believe you can get a parking pass now by going to the link. And if you go to the Comic-Con tab and type on parking, it'll give you that information. It's usually, sometimes you can do a full pass for the whole weekend. Sometimes it's only available for the day, and you have to move your car at the end of the day or overnight and then come back. So it's important when you are getting your parking pass to know what pass you have and where you're going to move your car if you do have to move your car from like 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Well, actually, can I jump in for a second? I think most of the Ace parking lots that went out in the lottery, those are day passes. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because like we always have to, like you, Katie, we go down, we have to find a place to park our car overnight, and I can never the Ace parking never has the overnight parkings that I need. I may be wrong. They may not. I may be wrong.
Usually you have to leave at like 2 a.m. till 6 a.m. And that can be a pain if you're sleeping, or it's downtown San Diego, so it can be really hard to find parking. I remember, Jim and Luke having to go move their car because they're like, we have to move out of our parking. So that's why I personally prefer parking at a hotel, because it's just a lot easier than having to deal with parking and gas out. But it's not an option for everybody, especially the ones who are just commuting for a little bit. And then the last thing that I'm covering is the exclusives list, Exhibitor. So there are exclusives that happen. There are signings that happen. They haven't released anything on the actual website yet about this, but usually closer to the convention, you will go onto the website and there will be an exclusive portal where you enter, and they'll have a whole list of all the exclusives or booths that you're trying to get into, and you will click on them and it'll say enter. In the past, they have done a certain allotment of entries that you can distribute through each day. But exactly how it works, not sure yet. But usually it's like, you have 20 that you can use per a day, and you can enter them in whichever slots you want. That's usually how the Funko thing works. But it's so hard to tell. They're a little bit slow on the information this year, so hence why we're a little bit slow on the information. But as we continue to get closer, we'll make sure we tweet those out, give you guys all that information. So.
Thank you, Katie. That's a lot of information.
Yeah.
The one thing, and I'm hitting Google right now, and my computer has decided it's going to poop out. It's not going to let me know. But one thing that I am considering is taking the Surfliner, the train, the Amtrak Surfliner train from LA to San Diego and back this year, because I have Derek's going to talk about hotels here in a second. My hotel is downtown, so I don't need to be going anywhere. Usually I drive down, park my car, pay $50 a day to park it, then drive it home. That's a lot of money, especially when a round trip ticket on the Surfliner, I think, is around like $38. So for those of you who might live up in or anywhere along the coast and you don't want to park your car down there, that's something to consider. Oh, right, just give me the price. The price for a round trip ticket is, I got to go through all these calculations. Forget it. All right. Katie, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Up next, here's probably the second most difficult thing to get when you go down to San Diego Comic-Con. Derek, what is that?
Hotels.
Yes.
Yeah, finding
Tell
a
us
place
about
to stay. So at this point, of course, as you may know, Hotel Apocalypse, as they call it, the lottery to get hotels already happened in May. So if you weren't lucky enough to get a hotel then, it might take a miracle to get one downtown for all 4 nights. Doesn't mean you can't still find some accommodations, though. As we were talking about a little bit earlier, you can go on the official Comic-Con website and look at the list of hotels. If you go comic-con.org/hotels, there's a link there that you can follow to the hotel block of what's basically reserved for the deal for Comic-Con. That takes you to the On Peak website. The trouble is with that, most of the hotels there, I mean, nothing really has all 4 nights that you would want for the whole weekend available anymore. Pretty much every hotel, Fridays are sold out. And some of the hotels have Thursday available and Saturday available, and that's it. Some have, Monday to Thursday. Some have, Sunday night, and that's about all. So you've really just got to search around. The real challenge, though, is that a lot of the hotels require you to book 2 nights when you make your reservation. And many of them don't have 2 consecutive nights available in the block anymore. So you can't actually book it through the Comic-Con link for some of those hotels. We were looking at this and called one of those hotels, and they said, you're just going to have to book directly through our website. But then you go to their website, and that's where it costs $1,000 a night instead of $300. So you've just really got to search around at this point. There are still some other hotels that aren't completely insane, that are just a few miles out. And when I say completely insane, I mean just the prices. When you just try to book a hotel independently through their website or by calling them, you could easily be spending $800 a night, $1,000 a night. I think I'm wanting to say the Hilton Bayfront even said it was $2,000 a night. If you want. Yeah. However, they if you go through the link on the Comic-Con website, they have some rooms available. It just looks like it's a Monday night and Thursday night. So at this point, you kind of got to see. And when I was looking at it, clicking just now, it looked like it would let me make a reservation if I wanted to. It wasn't giving me the error saying I had to reserve 2 rooms. So again, you just got to kind of search. And we've mentioned before, be very careful if you're looking at Airbnb in the area, because sometimes you're getting a really terrible deal, or you might just be getting scammed. And there's always a risk there. So you've really got to weigh that out and find some way to vet what you're getting. Another option is if you have friends that live in the San Diego area, you can sometimes stay. All that to say, as impossible as it can be, I hadn't even paid any attention when Hotel Apocalypse was happening, because I thought, one, it was unlikely that I was going to be able to go. I thought my pro reg had already expired, and also thought if we went, we'd probably be able to stay with our friends that we usually stay with in the San Diego area. Turned out I was wrong about all of those things. My pro registration was still good for this year. I guess it would have expired in 2020, and they gave that extension. But then our friends that we normally stay with told us they're actually full. They're hosting some other people at the same time. So just in the last 2 days, we ordered our badges and we found hotel rooms. Now we're staying 2 nights at one hotel and then 2 nights at another hotel. So we're spreading it out. But, one's like a mile away from the convention center for the first 2 nights, and the other one's maybe 3 miles away. So we might just like trade off and have somebody hang out with the kids at the hotel for those second 2 days. But we've talked about this before. It's always kind of a give and take. If you stay a few miles out from the convention center, it's very easy to get the train in if you can find some place to park your car legally. There are shuttles that run. It takes a little longer to get in the morning, so it's hard to get to those early morning things if you're trying to get into a lottery for an autograph, or if you're trying to get in line early without camping out the night before because you paid for a hotel room and want to sleep in the bed. So that's a give and take. And also, as we've said, I think Carrie Lane was always fond of saying, there's always free parking available somewhere if you're willing to walk. Now,
she's good at that. I'm not that good at finding that parking.
We found that, but this year, Lara and I have 3 small children with us. So we're going to be pushing some big strollers. That means we can't use public transit, and also we can't walk 5 miles.
Right.
But we could walk 1 because those are very good strollers and very good kids. So that's what our goal is right now. And at least we did find accommodation. And I say that to say, it is still possible, but you've got to do some digging. And of course, it's going to be kind of expensive. We're not paying $1,000 a night because we can't do that.
No,
but we did find some stuff in a,
Nor should you do that if you can.
What's that? Yeah.
I said, nor should you do that.
I know. I wouldn't recommend it. I think even like the lower prices, between $200 and $300, that's still, I think, expensive for a hotel. Yeah. But it's something that if you've set the money aside, like you could look at your budget and think, okay, we can afford to do this right now. And that's what we did.
But are you telling us, though, there are hotels available?
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit. You can't get one hotel for all 4 nights. But if you're willing to split it up, the real challenge is where you're going to sleep on Friday night. That's the hardest one. Okay. But if you're the type of person who's planning to camp out 1 night during the con anyway, you might be able to.
Probably it.
Yeah, Friday night might be the night to do that, and so you can book hotels and just split it. Now you've got a bunch of luggage you're gonna have to put somewhere. I can't solve all your problems for you. I'm sorry.
Can't you usually put luggage though in like a coat check somewhere? Like Katie, didn't you do that one year, or did I dream that?
Ooh.
Usually you can hold it, but it's only at the hotel if you're staying at it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you have to look like the hotel that you're about to check into the next day. You could ask them and be like, "Hey, could I just store my luggage somewhere and check in the next night or the next day?" Some hotels might allow
if any of you here want to store your luggage for 1 night while you camp out, I'll let you put it in my room.
Yeah, I've done that. We had to, when Emily and I didn't have a hotel room for 2 nights, we asked our friend, can we just leave our luggage at your hotel and maybe shower and stuff at your hotel? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Just, come find me.
You're going to get 80,000 luggage bags in his room.
What'd you say, Danae?
You're going to get like 80,000 bags of luggage in your room now.
Well, what I was about to say, you're missing the joke is, I'll keep your luggage, but you got to sleep outside on the sidewalk. It's a terrible thing.
Well, you've also got to be careful with, some hotels might have different policies. And
right.
Yeah.
It might look like you're sneaking extra guests into the room when they have a
right.
sleep in a room. That's not just because a hotel is trying to be selfish. There are actual fire code regulations a lot of times.
But I do have to say that they have cut way down on the camping out now because of passing out the wristbands at nighttime. They're trying to limit that. I know that Comic-Con does not like people camping out. People still do camp out. I mean, there's no doubt about it, but it's not like in years past where you'd have people camped out for 2 miles down back behind the convention center. They're like all up underneath the tent now. So, anyways,
like the short answer is there are things available. You just have to look, and there are a lot of hotels that at least have something still available, but you've got to like click on a whole bunch of them and check, and you've got to figure out, okay, am I willing to walk a little farther to save a little more money?
Yep. So first of all, go to the Comic-Con website, click on the hotels link. If it's not there, go to hotels.com and be prepared to spend a lot of money. There's a little hotel over there on the Coronado Island. I forgot what it was called. Luke, what was it called? The little one that we used to stay in. They're never in any of the Comic-Con groups. They're never on hotels.com. But if you go up and say, I'm going to...
Hotel Del
Hotel Maybe you should
Coronado?
Give it away. Maybe that should
Anyway, I'm giving it away. It's a secret hotel and they're 1 block away from the ferry that takes you right across and drops you off at the convention center. It's a great spot. I love it. All right, Brad says that he has a parking plan. We won't talk about Brad's parking plan because we do. Anyways, let me go through here real quick. Kristen Gus said that she's only been to Comic-Con 1 time, and it was either 99 or 2000. Wow, way back. That's cool. They only had a single day pass and didn't see anything super crazy cool, but her favorite memory was having the author of The Tick draw her a picture of the Tick himself. It was terrible. There was a huge line for pictures drawn by the illustrator, but mine is special. That's kind of cool.
Nice. That is so cool.
All right. And Amanda, it's kind of cool. She says that she is super looking for the Loungefly exclusives. I'm going to be talking about offsites here in just a second. And also, Amanda... Brad's plan is to sneak down to San Diego Comic-Con in the trunk of someone else's car so he doesn't actually have to park. Amanda, you're not far off the mark with that one. All right. That's fantastic. So we're going to jump in next, and we're not going to hit all of them, but Danae is going to give us an idea of some panels that are coming to Comic-Con. But before she does, there's one panel in particular that Luke Cheeseman wants to announce for us. Luke Cheeseman, why don't you do that, please?
Well, do I want to announce it, or why wouldn't one of our panelists announce it?
Hey, are you Power Ranger fans? This is CR Hannah here, aka the Yellow Ranger of Megaforce and Super Megaforce. So we're going to be having a panel, it's Morphin Time, to celebrate 29 years of Power Rangers. It's crazy. We're going to be having it at San Diego Comic-Con 2022, so stay tuned for more information.
Yay!
Did she post that? Did she post that on her socials, or is that the first look here and then she's going to put it on her socials?
We can have her do that as well. Yeah, I just told her we want to show it on the show tonight. So
nice. All right.
This is the official announcement. Cheeseman, why don't you go over the panel? It's do you have the announcement in front of you?
Yeah, so we are doing. We've done this at WonderCon. We've done online Comic-Con version of this panel, but this is our first time officially at Comic-Con with our Power Rangers panel. It is called It's Morphing Time. The Power Rangers celebrate 29 years. So Power Rangers from multiple seasons come together on one stage to celebrate 29 years of Morphin Time. Campy, energetic, and often over the top. The Power Rangers TV series launched in 1993 and quickly exploded into a worldwide multimedia franchise that endures to this day. Come celebrate nearly 3 decades of superhero action with some of your favorite actors from the series, including Abraham Rodriguez from Beast Morphers, Cameron Gibo and Ciara Hanna from Super Mega Force, Roger Velasco from Power Rangers in Space, Dwayne Cameron from Operation Overdrive, Davi Santos and Brennan Mia from Dino Charge, and Peter Adrian Sidarso from Ninja Steel, and it's hosted by our one and only actor, comedian friend Ben Cleaver from theconguy.com.
That was a lot of names, and
This is our biggest panel ever.
Yeah. This is our biggest one. I think this is the most we've ever had.
To have it right, probably.
What's that, Luke?
It's probably the longest description because of the amount of panelists we've ever had to write. It even got narrowed down because some of them did multiple seasons.
Yep.
And a few kind of different things.
And after, and for the record, we can't tell you the day and room and time and all that. Comic-Con officially releases that 2 weeks. So I think they're trying to do it 3 weeks before the actual convention. So it might be next week or the following week. And we're going to have a couple guests come on the show and talk about their panels, because there are some cool panels coming up. But she says, and Amanda, where is Mr. Cleaver tonight? It's a lovely, lovely Bree's birthday. So they are enjoying a night off tonight.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we are so excited. Cheeseman has done such a great job of pulling together 8 of the Power Rangers. And what's cool is that might not even be all. There might even be more. I think we're kind of packing the stage, so we might need to stop. But there are more that might be showing up. And if they do, we'll just throw them up there as well. So this is super exciting. They'll also be doing signings and autograph signings and photographs on the convention floor. We will have more about that later. So come on down, have an awesome time with the Power Rangers. As always, we're so grateful for Brad for originally helping us to get the Power Rangers panels started. So thank you, Brad, for doing that. All right, Danae, why don't you go ahead and tell us some other panels that are happening?
Well, there are so many. I can't believe you're not going to let me list them all. I think like the cool thing though about panels at Comic-Con is you can find things for almost anything, but you can also discover brand new things. Like Derek and I discovered Rick and Morty because of San Diego Comic-Con, and it was just the announcement included Dan Harmon, and we loved him. So when you get your booklet, just make sure to go through and really have a good look, see at some of the options, because you might be surprised by things that you wouldn't have considered an option before. So make sure to double check. Don't just fly out by the seat of your pants when you're picking. Because, I mean, there's stuff like women and minorities in gaming, which we obviously, like Jim just said, we don't know where that's going to be. But something Katie has talked about a lot on here, kind of some of the stigma around gaming. And then you also have the huge things like the new Lord of the Rings series, which I might go to just to protest and demand answers.
What? Really?
I heard recently that Amazon
He's a true believer.
A few cons and one pro of what could be good about it. I gotta hear one nice thing.
One nice thing? I
Yeah,
have to.
What are a few reasons you don't want to see this?
I don't trust the way they have strayed from material by some of the teasers they've been giving. I saw a whole analysis on the decline of costuming in recent years, the way we've lost a lot of textures. And Katie could answer this better than me, but it's like comparing the Glenn Close Cinderella to the new, or not Cinderella, oh my gosh, Cruella de Vil to the new Cruella de Vil. Like, costumes have gone way down, and looking at just Rings of Power, it's nowhere near the awesome costumes that we had with Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. I don't know what to expect. I appreciate that they use practical effects to make that teaser, but I'm just like, I need more information before I decide if I'm going to watch it or not. I'm about 90% sure I'm not going to watch it, though. I might go to the panel. We'll see.
Well, if you don't watch it, how do you know if you like it?
Oh, Derek had a good answer to that, I think.
Said I've got to at least try it. And I will point out, Danae, while I appreciate Danae's opinions and I agree with pretty much everything she just said, Danae also has not read the books.
I'm sorry, I don't have 80,000 hours to just get to Tom Bombadil.
Hey, you don't even know.
That means I've read more Lord of the Rings than Danae, and like I don't
probably have. I mean, I'm just like, I'm looking at the list right now. Anyways, back to Comic-Con, that thing we're supposed to be discussing. There's a House of the Dragon panel. I'm really excited about that. I want to at least try this show. I know a lot of us were really disappointed with the way Game of Thrones ended. I'm hoping it can be redeemed. I keep forgetting how many people are in it until I see another announcement. And then I get excited.
Game of Thrones has not ended. Did you hear who was hired this week for the sequel?
Yeah. But also, let's not get into that because I could talk.
Jim drinks and he knows things.
Yeah, let's not talk about that right now.
House of the Dragons, though, like that is a prequel, right?
Yeah, prequel. Yeah, very far before.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm just saying they announced this week they're also doing a sequel. So
yes,
trying to save the remnants of a lost franchise.
Yeah, which, like I said, that's for another day because I have strong opinions about it.
I mean, we should discuss a lot of,
what else we got going on?
rings of power too.
Did I say Jim?
No. I mean, there's stuff like the mechanics of Jurassic Park. That would be really cool. I would hope they discuss why Chris Pratt was on a CGI horse in the new Jurassic Park when Chris Pratt knows how to ride a real horse. I changed pages so I could look at your faces and talk to you. There's a lot of Funko stuff on panels, which would be really cool. I like Funko Pop. I'm not the expert here on Funko, but I love them. I'd love to hear about them. Here's just a Harry Potter fan panel.
Yeah, but sorry, Danae. The Funko panel has some serious talent on it.
Yeah. It's a Hall H panel, by the way.
Yeah, Simu Liu is going to be there. If you guys,
it's a Hall H panel. I didn't see that.
It's Shang-Chi himself, Simu Liu. We also have someone that Luke and Jim will be really excited about being on the Funko panel, which I think you guys should say it because of how big of fans you guys are of the show.
Oh, I'm talking. Are you talking Rosario Dawson?
No, I was talking about Cobra Kai.
Oh yeah, what? Zepka.
So they're all on that panel. So it's going to be interesting to see because they've never had a major toy panel in Hall H. Yep. Like, this is massive.
They've had one, kind of. Remember when the year Pokemon exploded, they moved it from a small room to a Hall H, but it's not really a toy. It was just a phenomenon. So it just,
that's a little different, but yeah.
I suppose.
So this is the first year Funko's in there, which is awesome. All right. Sorry, Danae. We're going to keep jumping in because we're so excited.
I mean, no, it's cool. These are exciting, and we want to talk about them. Okay, and here's another practical one, like making a living, being creative.
Love it.
They've got all sorts of good things like that. I know Derek and I went to one, like we've been to writing panels before. We went to one that was specifically like being a Christian in the industry. And I think that one was also specifically writers. It's all kinds of great stuff. So make sure you really dig through the list, mark everything you want to try and do. And some will surprise you at how good they will be. Maybe Lord of the
Rings. Couples who cosplay, Derek. You and Laura should go to that one.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll actually be in cosplay that day if we can put it together.
Couples who cosplay.
Thank you. There's also this one.
Hey, Derek.
Pop culture, which I would be interested in.
Derek, it's couples who cosplay. I don't know if that's interesting.
Wait, it's couples who cosplay?
Couples. If only you were in a couple, you could go to that.
Yeah, if only I had a wife who liked nerd conventions and cosplaying.
Who worked in the industry as well. Like, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
Jonathan Wilkerson. Singles who don't cosplay. There you go. Oh, that's a great panel.
Singles who don't cosplay. That would be a great panel.
Oh, you totally got to dress the kids up like the Stranger Things kids in your Hopper. And I actually have the Hopper shirt I could let you use, the Hawaiian one from season.
All right, guys, I got to keep us on track. I'm so sorry. We got to keep moving.
Yeah,
I apologize.
We're going late.
Yep. So, Danae, any more that jump out at you? I got a couple I will mention after.
Go ahead, Jim.
Okay, so we have somebody coming on our show possibly next week. He is on. There's a panel that I'm going to be on. I'm always excited about this panel. How to have a full-time career and a part-time schedule. Derek was on that one time. Jim was down with COVID, and Derek filled in. And Derek did great. They loved him. I'm surprised they've asked me back. But that panel is going to go on again this year. I'm going to be a guest on that. But one of the people that's usually on that panel is named Stephen Burns. He has his own panel creating 3D models for storytelling in Blender 3D, which sounds amazing, like a new way of storytelling, which I think is really cool. There's one, the X-Men fandom panel sounds awesome to me. And there's one more, John Carpenter's Tales of Science Fiction Civilians. I'm a giant John Carpenter fan. So that one is going to excite me. Charlie Brown's career education program. Love teachers, a career education program. I'm not so excited to go, but it's Charlie Brown, so I might just show up because of that. And also, X-Men the Animated Series is the 30th anniversary of that. This is a big year for that animated series. There is Mandalorian Under the Helmet. There's a panel about Mandalorian. I'm going real quick. There's podcasting panels, the science of Jurassic World, Star Wars Samurai Universe, veterans in the arts and pop culture. So many panels, and they're also. I'm trying to find out. There's the WB animated film that's premiering. They usually have that on. Is it Saturday night, Friday night, Wednesday?
I think it's normally on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I put it on
It's
here.
usually, I think, twice actually.
Yeah, I put it on here, but I forgot what it was called. I think it's the Green Lantern this year. They have a Green Lantern film this year, which should be very, very cool. So, one more. This one's directors on directing. They have a directors panel, film directors expected to appear. Tim Miller, the director of Deadpool. Andrew Stanton, the director of Finding Nemo and Wall-E. And also Chad Stahelski, the director of the John Wick franchise. They're all going to be on the panel, so that one should be amazing as well. All right.
I love that Jim tells us not to just like read a whole list. And
Yeah.
then he reads the list.
I know.
I was literally going to say that to Nate. I'm like, Jim's like, just glaze over it, and then proceeds to read them all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't mention the alien panel. All right, real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to jump through a couple of offsites real quick. Katie, do you know anything about Funko Fun Days?
Just the tickets go on sale tomorrow. Anytime between 10 and 2. That if you guys stay tuned to the original Funko posts, their blog, all that stuff, it's going to be tomorrow between 10 and 2. They have not released what time specifically. It's going to be random. The only ones that currently have their tickets were some board members there was 200 tickets that they gave out by randomly people who were board members. And if you would know if you were one of them, they're the only people that have gotten tickets so far. They're about, I think, $150 to $200, and they will go very fast. So yeah, definitely keep your eye out if you are a big fan of Funko for the Fun Days announcement tomorrow morning.
And that's always
that specific time, by the way.
Yeah, and that's on. It's Thursday night, right? That Fun Days is on Thursday night. So if you're going to go to Fun Days, you got to probably give up waiting in line for Friday Hall H bands because it's right about the same time. But make your decision. The Funko Fun Days is super popular. Real quick, I'll go through some real quick. We don't have a lot of offsites announced yet, but we have more than I thought. D23, the other convention, they are holding a 40th anniversary dance party for Tron. It's an epic dance party. It's going to be at House of Blues from 8 to 11 on Thursday night. That's going to be cool. Derek, you're going to love this one. Paramount is bringing Star Trek's 10 Forward, the experience, to Comic-Con this year. It's kind of pricey. It's around $60 for general admission. It includes 2 cocktails, food, and access to the store and a photo op.
I like the ones, though, that include drinks with your ticket purchase, because to me it's more worth it, because at most parties and stuff at con, you're going to have to pay for drinks, and they're usually pricey. So, like, when I went to the Supernatural party that they had, it had 2 drinks that you got with your admission, and I was like, that's great.
I'm still bitter about the Supernatural party because I paid for tickets and then I missed it.
Oh, that was so sad. But yeah, this, like, if it's $60 and you're getting 2 cocktails and food, and then like things like a photo op that in itself can cost a good bit sometimes.
You are really getting your money's worth if it's only 60.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great one.
Well, there's also a VIP admission that gives you more things.
That's where they get their money, is the VIP experiences.
There's going to be an offsite for the new show on ABC, Abbott Elementary, which, if you've not seen it, is one of the funniest shows I've seen in a long time. There's not a lot of information about it, but they are having an offsite. And Katie, you brought to our attention that the museum, the Comic-Con Museum, they are having a special event during Comic-Con. Do you know much about it, or?
Yeah, I saw it come across my feed on Twitter, and it's because now, if you guys know, they have the Comic-Con Museum, which celebrates all things Comic-Con, celebrates all year long. Starting at the beginning of July, they are having a Spider-Man experience. There's going to be activations. There's going to be props. There's going to be costumes, all sorts of stuff related to Spider-Man's whole thing in Marvel. And I believe it is a ticketed thing. I'm sure it will go fast. If you go to the Comic-Con Museum website, you can get tickets for it. They will also be going on during Comic-Con. I want to say it's like $30 or something like that. Like, it's not too bad. So I'm curious about it because I've never been to the Comic-Con Museum yet. So it would be really interesting to kind of see how they celebrate pop culture in that true San Diego Comic-Con style. Yep. I think that was the only other offset I was going to mention. I feel like there was something else, but if I remember it, I'll mention it.
Speaking about Paramount and the 40th anniversary of Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, Paramount they're joining up with Cool Hoss to create the Wrath of Pecan, Ckhan, a summertime treat. Get it? Wrath of Pecan. In other words, ice cream. They're going to be giving out ice cream in honor of the 40th
I'm assuming
anniversary.
buttered pecan ice cream, and that's
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. It's cool. There's a 40th anniversary for Tron so far, 40th anniversary for Wrath of Khan. So I think we're on to something here. Nintendo Switch is hitting the road this summer, and they have a stop at San Diego Comic-Con. They're taking over Petco Park Interactive Zone from Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 6 daily, Sunday till 4. You'll be able to play demos of the latest games, including Nintendo Switch, Mario Strikers, Battle League, and Kirby: The Forgotten Land. All right, Ghost, the show on CBS, they have an offsite as well. And here's a cool rumor that is out there. There are some job listings for people to work a roller skating rink during Comic-Con. What do you guys think that might be? Get me off of this.
the one thing that so when you said this, I was actually really excited because here's the thing. Stranger Things has never had like a really great Comic-Con presence. And so like I hope it is Stranger Things because they would absolutely do amazing. Especially since the final episode of part 2 airs 2 weeks before Comic-Con. So, I mean, they have potential to do so much with Stranger Things at Comic-Con. So I think this is the perfect thing for them to do.
Back several years ago, they did have a really cool offsite, but it was a Netflix offsite that had several shows featured. They actually gave a whole lot more attention to Bright, I think, than they did to Stranger Things, where it was like one room. It was really cool. And then Bright, I thought, was a disappointing movie, especially, next to what Stranger Things should have had more space at Comic-Con. But all that to say, I'm excited to see more of Stranger Things there.
We don't know yet if there will be Danae, Lord of the Rings offsite, but a lot of the chatter is that there will be, since they are having a major panel. They're having a Hall 8.
Be excited about this, Danae.
She's not excited about it at all, you guys. Like, why would this...
I was checking. You guys mentioned Stranger Things, and I had to look something up because I was like, I don't think I have been to Comic-Con since Stranger Things came into being. Like, I've been to Comic-Con 2015 and 2016, and I had to check, and Stranger Things dropped.
But
2016.
I don't even think they've had a panel for Stranger Things, have they?
I don't think they ever have.
Danae's the same age as Millie Bobby Brown.
I do have one question though. It's not about offsites. I forgot to mention it during panels. This is mostly for Derek and Danae. Do you guys think that we're going to get a 60th anniversary Doctor Who panel this year, or do you think it's going to be next year?
Ooh.
I mean,
because they're currently filming.
I would imagine this year, since they've already announced like David Tennant and Catherine Tate coming back, and I mean that would be a great opportunity to promote the show if they could get
the trailer
either
or
one
some
there.
footage.
And Neil Patrick Harris.
Yep.
Yeah, that is so bizarre and interesting.
They're currently filming it, so I think it's going to depend on if they're still filming it during Comic-Con, or if they're going to take a break off to come to Comic-Con. I don't know. I
would imagine at the very least we would have like a Comic-Con exclusive video that they would show at the panel, and they would be really strict about not recording it. Sort of course. Thing. Yeah.
All right. That was all I wanted to say. That's all. That's all.
That's very cool. All right, and it'd be cool if they have a Stranger Things roller skating rink. But I was going to say, a lot of people are like, well, Stranger Things already came out. What people don't understand is the whole strategy of Netflix is to keep you watching all summer long, keep you watching for a long time. So they need to promote. And the final 2 episodes release on July 1st. And I read an article today about something really, I almost got irritated that I read it, but I read an article about a cool scene, which I'm not going to talk to you guys about right now, that I can't wait to see it because I'm like, yes, that seems so great. But I'm hoping Stranger Things is going to be there. All right, we have to wrap up. Let me see any questions. Like Brad said, it is already summer on the East Coast. Yeah. Brad had a question. He says, I wonder if Entertainment Weekly will do their big party. That's the biggest question. I think the answer is no, because they've gone out of business. Entertainment Party is no more. They stopped publishing. So,
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
that's a bummer because EW has some of the best, not big panels. They have some of the best panels at the con.
Someone else is gonna buy them. You know how it works these days.
Hey, Andy, we previewed Star Wars Celebration. We haven't talked about what it was like yet. Ben will talk about it. Ben was there, so when he comes back, maybe we'll ask Ben some questions about it. All right, guys, we are going to wrap this part of the show because we're going to let the host go. We're going to kind of say goodnight. But for those of you who want to stay on, we have one more giant party that, let me see, Amanda. Let's see, what does she say? Anyway, she says she's not going to Comic-Con, but she is going to a certain preview night party called Ready Player One. And we did an interview with Mr. Bernie Bregman. Anyone who wants to stay on can watch the interview where he tells us all about it, tells us about his after parties in general at Comic-Con this year, what he is learning. So anyways, I'm going to let everybody else sign off because Bernie's going to take us out tonight. So Danae, Katie, Derek, tell us where people can find you, starting with Danae.
You can find me on Instagram at DNAYS and on TikTok at Danae Sams. I am an author and comedian. Can't wait for all the nerd things. It's back, y'all.
The other half of the Samblings, Mr. Derek.
Hi, you can find me on Twitter at ConGuyDerek and on theconguy.com. I am a writer, software engineer, and basic nerd.
And Cheeseman, I think you and I are staying on, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I close out myself, maybe in the other one, but you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at CheeseOnCouch.
All right, and you can find me right there, James D. Fry, on Instagram or at theconguy.com. Amanda says, yes, she's going to be stage managing the party. So
nice.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight.
I'm sorry. Goodbye.
Yeah, Jim.
I am so sorry, Katie.
He's known me for how many years? And he still forgets me. I am Katie, aka Katie Christine. You can find me across all socials at KT_Christine. I'm actually considering making another TikTok about all of my wonderful, crazy fangirl adventures. So I will let you guys keep you guys posted on if I goes live. So.
All right, and tell Emily, the other con girl, that we said hello tonight. We haven't seen her in a bit.
Where's the dog?
Hey, Katie, can you give me one sentence of what you thought about Jurassic World Dominion?
It was too messy. There was too much going on, and there was not enough dinosaurs.
All right, there we
go.
go.
What was the most entertaining part about the movie, Katie?
No.
She knows when me and Brad were like, I need another drink.
Yeah. Halfway through the movie.
Maybe we'll get Brad, Katie, and Luke to give us their longer thoughts on Jurassic World since it's still good. All right, guys, thank you so much. We can't wait to see everybody at Comic-Con. We have some more shows coming up, but for now, we're going to take it out to Mr. Bernie Bregman, the Geek Gatsby himself, to tell us about the biggest show, the biggest party happening at Comic-Con this year. All right, Cheeseman.
You'd be great at a circus, Jim.
I know. You gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm in the process of sharing screen. Although,
boy, this is such a goodbye, isn't it?
Right.
Anticlimactic.
Here we are, as we awkwardly. Someone tell us some good jokes right now.
What do you guys think of Val Kilmer lately? What's the deal with smart cars? They're so small, there's nothing smart about it.
What is she talking about?
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme?
Yeah.
Was it crispy?
Yeah.
No.
Was it creamy?
Yeah. All right, Cheeseman, we're ready.
I'm trying to
interrupt this 90s themed stand-up.
If it doesn't
drag it into a window.
If it doesn't work tonight, we can always release it all by itself.
No, Jim, we're gonna make this work.
We could trim off all of this dead air, right?
Yeah.
Derek, Danae, I'll ask you offline. I was gonna ask you if you are going to Comic-Con this year. I didn't know if you had plans, but I'll talk to you about it offline. Katie, Emily's going, right?
Yes. Yes, she is.
Well, Comic-Con guys, we have a special guest with us right now. This is Mr. Bernie Bregman, otherwise known as the Geek Gatsby, because he has his hands in all the cool stuff that all of us love so much. And Bernie, welcome back to the show. You are a friend of the show. We always love having you on here. You always have so much going on. Like right now, guys, while we're talking about this, Bernie is hosting he's hosting all the series of previews or early screenings of a bunch of movies that are coming out. We won't talk about this right now.
I saw Top Gun last night. It was so good.
Yeah.
Great to hear. I'm so excited. Yeah, we were talking about that on our show recently.
Everything that you could want from a sequel to that movie, it was.
I've heard nothing but good stuff about it. Nothing.
It's so good. It's so good. Like, it gives you. I mean, we don't need to go into Top Gun too much, but you'll need an inhaler afterwards. Like, the cinematography is that like real. I love what they did with Maverick. I love the nods to the old one, but they didn't like blow all over the place. Like, let's just chop up all the lines from '86 and sprinkle them all over. There was a healthy dose of that, but also it was, where is Maverick 30 years later?
I just got to know though, like I heard that they mounted like 6 or 7 cameras inside the cockpit, and that Tom Cruise, he was really flying the plane, wasn't he?
I think most of them, if not all of them, were trained to fly and did fly.
That's crazy. Oh, that's
wild.
Crazy.
I'm not sure what they were flying that they then made to look like F-18s, but
Yeah. And next time we have you on, we'll talk about that the Mission Impossible trailer, which dropped on the same day this past week. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. Anyways, we are here to talk about something else. We have about 2 months until San Diego Comic-Con, or depending on when you guys see this, we have somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks until San Diego Comic-Con, and news has started to leak out. One of the biggest pieces of information that we heard that we were excited about, and we wanted to go to the man himself, the source, was that on preview night, Bernie, you're throwing another big party. Can you tell us about it?
So, Ready Party 1, Love and Thunder is going to be this year's kickoff preview night party. We kind of created the conception of a preview night party. It didn't really happen before us in 2018. And, the great thing about the Ready Party 1 brand for our kickoff night party is that, it's the first party number 1 of the week. But within the Ready Player One theme, you can go in any world, right, in the Oasis. And so with Thor, Love and Thunder releasing just 2 weeks before Comic-Con, we wanted to play around with that and play around with Thor and give you some Asgardian top shelf goodness. So we are taking over Park Nightclub, which is right there in the thick of the gas lamp. It's actually the same spot that Marvel had a private Black Eyed Peas concert a couple years back, 2017, I think that was. So we got Love and Thunder coming to you guys. We've already sold several hundred tickets. About a third already is gone. All of the early bird VIP stuff's all gone. I think our tables might even be sold out at this point. Look, that makes me feel great as an organizer. But it's also great just to see that like people want the San Diego parties back. And this is a year I think there's not going to be many. A lot of the big studios, I don't know if you guys have been broaching that yet, or if that's part of the ramp up to Comic-Con, but a lot of the studios won't be there. A lot of the publishers aren't going to have their usual big presence that we're used to. So it's going to be a different San Diego Comic-Con. There'll still be plenty of big stuff for the 150,000 people to go do, but not a ton of the nightlife. I don't think you're going to see, the big HBO party, Wired Cafe is gone, all that kind of stuff. And so, we're going to be kind of the last man standing and do it the first night of the week. We might, stay tuned, might do some stuff later on in the week, but it's a rough situation in the gas lamp where a lot of the venues didn't survive the pandemic. Or are in transition from previous ownership that couldn't make it through to someone else that's going to take it over and do a thing, which is why we aren't at our usual home at Flux this year. But also what's left, they are all trying to make up their pandemic losses overnight. So the prices for a company to come in and take it over is just wild. Yeah. Wild. And it's not a shock to me that very few of the big companies are going in and, going to plop down, $250,000 to one of these venues for a couple nights.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So usually thematically, you usually create kind of the vibe within the bar or the place that you're kind of hosting it. Are there kind of things going on behind the scenes that kind of get stuff ready?
Oh yeah. The damn good shindig creative wing of our team of Experience Level Entertainment went down to Park on Sunday, as a matter of fact, to measure out the venue. And they have a great 3D map they gave us, but we want to recreate sections of it up here that we can bring down there all dressed up and stuff. Mm-hmm. We've got some really cool, interesting photo op ideas to really make you feel like you're, one of the old gods in Asgard, something like that. It'll be really neat. Utilize some of what the venue already has, incorporate that into the designs. There will be stuff in the air and the ceiling that'll be really cool. And some photo ops like I'm not sure if it'll be Mjolnir or Stormbreaker, but you'll be holding one that is shooting lightning as a photo op. That'll be really cool.
Oh, that's very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. Were you guys at the Ghostbusters one? It'd be similar to that Proton Pack display.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like there were the most recent year that I was at when it was all over. I think it was 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you threw some fantastic parties. Your organization did, and those were great. Like I remember the Stranger Things one. You had the guy up on the Billy on the lifeguard stand, and you had all the what do you call it, the lockers in school and everything. You recreated kind of like what a great year, what a great party that was. And it was so cool because you had a bunch of celebs were
that
showing
whole
up.
week was
Music was great.
Incredible.
Everything about it was great. Yeah, that was so fun.
You got a picture with Padalecki, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
With Jared Padalecki from Supernatural when he rolled through. Yeah, I knew you did. Yeah. I hope I got to shoot that guy a text in the next few and see if he'll be at Comic-Con. But yeah, no, hoping to get back to some of that. We'll kind of see how things develop. We're still kind of, if a situation with a venue presents itself, I actually think we would do Stranger Things again. The new season will drop in two parts in the same month, and it'll drop around Comic-Con. So I think that'd be a blast to kind of go back into that. And we have some ninjas around some production places. We might be able to get a few advanced stills and things like that and do a little build out of that season. But just we've got to see if a venue kind of matriculates down and see what happens down there in San Diego.
Yeah.
Now, will there be any like specialty cocktails or other things there? Or I don't know if there's like a food vendor or different things. I know in the past there's been.
So cool thing about this venue is they actually have a restaurant. So you can also eat at the venue. It's really nice to upscale. And so you can, for those that are, coming off the con floor at 6 or so, and you want to get that dinner before you kick the 8 o'clock doors party or roll in 9:30. And so there's dinner right there, right on the street level before you enter into the nightclub part of it. So that's really cool. We're going to theme out a lot of that area as well. And there's a separate DJ station there. So you'll have different kind of beats in that front area before you go into the back area and hit the beats and of course the band. And then the band's going to be totally different. They play a whole bunch of new stuff and incredible musicians. So they've got hours and hours of new music for us.
I remember
really cool.
Was it the last one, Bernie? You yourself got up on stage when we were performing. Are we going to see a repeat performance?
I imagine you will. My journey in singing is kind of interesting. I grew up in recording studios, and my dad engineered for some really cool acts like Toto and Chicago and stuff. But Yes, but I never ever picked up an instrument or learned from these like world-class musicians. Would never sing in front of another human being in my life until a couple of years ago. And some friends got me comfortable to do karaoke, and then I started going, okay, well, there's a couple songs I think are pretty good. Yeah. And then the band was like, dude, you should definitely come do Rebel Yell. And I did that a couple of times, and confidence grew. And now it's like I've sung probably 6 or 7 songs with them. At different things, and I will probably do 2 or 3 at the show.
Nice. All right, Luke, we are bumping up against. I'm sorry, we're bumping up against the hour of 10, but if you can go ahead and ask one of your last couple of questions here as we talk over each other.
But before I go into that, is cosplay confidence anything? Do people because a lot of times that's a thing. So it's like you become a different persona or larger than life kind of a thing sometimes when people
absolutely that's certainly a piece of it. I mean, now it's a different, it's a comfort zone that's like more realized, but it's certainly cosplay kind of gives you this really cool shield. And you can kind of go be at least a little bit of a different person, but still an extension of yourself. But it definitely helps a ton. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like a question would be like, in the past you've had special guests kind of themed to different things, even with like the Stranger Things and all that kind of stuff. Is there any special guests that you're looking into or might be announced at some point or anything like that?
Got a few nibbles, nothing that's firm enough that I could drop a name here to excite anybody with. Just because you never want to jinx it, and you also don't want to just professionally speaking, you don't want to say anything until it's a little more confirmed. But looking into a couple of cool names. There's some other folks that'll be stationed at Comic-Con pretty early, that'll be down there Wednesday night. So we're reaching out, seeing who wants to come and have a good time, maybe promote a thing that they're doing and stuff like that.
And we know that we're still, like we say, in the world of planning, maybe not much time, but we're still, right now talking to you 8 weeks out. So I know there's so much planning that has to go on in this next couple of months, and what it looks like right now, come back in about 6 weeks and tell us where you guys are at, because then we want to know everything that's going on. So we'll be really excited to hear that. But I do have this question. So you just talked, and as we bump up against the end of our time here, we were talking about how a lot of the companies they're not coming back this year, or even over the past couple of years, there's been a change in the nightlife scene. And you guys, your company, has kind of seemed like they've stepped into a void that was beginning to develop. Can you just talk about your company and what's the vision of your company and why is it that you're doing this?
Well, part of the mission statement for Experience Level, there was a lot of that stuff in as Comic-Con, as the burst happened in the late aughts, going into the early 2010s, and then it became all these studio exclusive parties and like giant list a mile long, and like this much of it could ever get in, and people spent entire nights like in line waiting to get into this party, and like everything cool had happened already before they got in, or they didn't get in at all. And we're like, okay, that sucks. How can we do something that everyone can go to, maybe bring a celebrity element to it so they still have that same feel of the studio events, but this is for the fans, and this is where the fans are highlighted, and we can get fans in VIP and all that kind of stuff. So that was part of it. And then seeing the potential on Wednesday and Thursday of there being so many people and not enough to do, and going, well, look, there's a market, obviously, from a business perspective. And then going, okay, well, if we build something, if you build it, they will come. And so, we did. And there was a year where I did the first Ready Party 1 with this team, and a different event on a Thursday night with Dante Vasco and the old Super News team, and other people were involved in that. And it's just a tale of two different events. Like, both were great for the crowd, but they were totally different stylistically in the buildup. And like, I really found the dream team with XLE. And I said, okay, I want to do this all throughout the week. How do I do that? So the next week we're just like, we thought we would just do Wednesday and Thursday, and the venue was like, well, what about Friday? And I'm like, what numbers are we looking at? And then started going, okay, why not? Hell, why not? We already know we're going to do this and this. Let's just do we're already there, right? We already got all the stuff and the gear and everything. We're there. It's just one more night. And so we did, and it was a wild success. And 2020 had that happen. We were going to add Saturday. Don't know if it would have been at the same venue, and we were going to have all sorts of like big talent names, like celebrity DJs and stuff. And it was supposed to be amazeballs. And now it's we're all refining ourselves a little bit, but there's still that void. Like, if we don't step in and do this, there's going to be like 3 parties that nobody goes to. Like, not that nobody goes to, there will be enough people to fill up whatever events happen, but like, of the totality of people at San Diego Comic-Con, like this many of them are going to get into after events, and it's not going to feel the same as it used to. So, that's definitely the opening for us. I wish the venues would play a little bit better, but we're doing what we can do for this year, and see what happens next year when more of them are back on their feet, and there's options there. And, they certainly know, the venues certainly know what we can do. So, that's going to be cool.
Luke, anything else before we say goodbye?
I would just say my final question is, what are you most excited about this year and about doing this particular event?
I think I really look at being back at San Diego as like a marker point of being most of the way back, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously we still have things we're dealing with medically, whatever, with all the stuff going on, but we're living lives that are much closer to what they were before than they were during the height of the pandemic. And I think that a San Diego Comic-Con being back, or whatever, if we have to wear masks inside, all that stuff's fine. But like, I think just that existing and happening in, most capacity to what it used to be is a big marker of just, kind of putting that stuff a little bit behind us and feeling confident moving forward. It's one of those tentpole events that I think a lot of people are looking to see what conventions will be like the rest of the year, what other big events. I mean, big events are largely back. Look, there's huge freaking concerts and Super Bowl happened here and all that other stuff. So all that stuff is back. But I think for us in the pop culture Comic-Con world, San Diego being back is a huge deal for the whole community.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of like Big Brother being kind of taking that big step in, and then we'll see how other people kind of follow after they see, you know, San Diego taking that big step back.
Yep. All right, Bernie. Most important
Absolutely.
question.
I mean, the ones that have been.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No. I want the most important question. I just want to point out that I'm staring at your logo this whole time, and I really want a freaking tiki drink in a coconut shell right now. Like,
we're heading to
traditionally I'm just going to point out that guests get something, and that's what I want.
Coming your way, my friend, especially if you want to meet us at the tiki bar afterwards. But most important question, where can people get tickets and find out more information about this event?
Oh, this is so easy, guys. All you got to do is to go to xleproductions.com. That is our website, and you will find a link to the ticketing site right from there. You can also just go on Eventbrite and look up Ready Party One, and you will find Ready Party One Love and Thunder. You can go on to Facebook and hit up XLE Productions or Nerds Like Us, and you will see the event. You can go on Instagram and you can follow XLE Productions or Nerds Like Us or Nerdbot, and you will see all of the posts about the party live on my Instagram right now on Nerds Like Us or on the Geek Gatsby. The link is the link that is up at the top of the page. So that's where you can go and grab your tickets while they still last. Again, we're a third sold and we're 2 months out. So that's kind of great. Pretty sure that's going to sell out. A lot of people will be down there, and we only have about 1,500 or so tickets. So, yeah, Get them quick.
Get them fast. Get them quick. They're going to go. Bernie, thank you so much for coming on and talking about it. We will have you back closer to Comic-Con to see what's going on. So, always a joy to have you on the show. The Greek Gatsby, Bernie Bregman himself. All right, bye-bye. Thanks for listening to The Con Guy Show, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weevy Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now on sci-fi.radio, Saturdays at 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, both AM and PM. That's 9 o'clock Greenwich. It's sci-fi for your Wi-Fi.